Good Tuesday to you, Tennessee Valley. It is January 28th, recording at 7:40 in the morning. And I apologize. Yesterday, I realized I uploaded a video with no sound, so I don't know why I did that or how that happened, but I apologize. This video has sound, and I just wanted to give you an update on what's to come the rest of the week. Now, this morning, something relatively rare has been occurring. We do get freezing fog from time to time, but we do have freezing fog advisories in effect for North Georgia for the next hour. So special weather statements for the potential of freezing fog across much of southeast Tennessee and western North Carolina. Dense fog advisories for northeast Alabama. So the fog has caused some headaches this morning, and it has been freezing. And you know, with freezing rain, you get rain falling in liquid form. Temperatures are below freezing at the surface, so any of that rain freezes on contact. Well, fog is made of water droplets, and that water sometimes freezes on contact as well if temperatures are below 32. So a lot of times fog reduces the visibility, but when temperatures are below freezing, it can also freeze on trees and overpasses and sometimes even roadways. And with that freezing fog can lead to some slick spots. And I've heard that across Ellijay. I have a viewer, Cheryl Braswell, who lives down in Ellijay, said that there were a few accidents and some slick spots on the road. So anytime you have a freezing fog advisory, you definitely want to take that seriously and be careful on the roadways. And again, this is recorded just before 8 o'clock on Tuesday morning, so this will look a lot different. But I'm just showing you some of the fog we're dealing with. This is looking up US 27, heading out of Chattanooga or up towards Soddy Daisy if you're taking the northbound lane. Southbound is heading towards downtown Chattanooga. So these are the scenes. Many of you may be traveling in and out of fog this morning, and some of that could be freezing. Now down in Jackson County near Goose Pond, so it looks like a few people out on the roadways, but I say the roadways, but the parking lot about to do some fishing or duck hunting, whatever it may be. But very thick fog, visibility likely less than a half of a mile here, and it's favoring those river valleys or riverbeds, any valleys really, especially the Sequatchie. You can see reduced visibility there, just kind of hanging out across Marion, Sequatchie, Bledsoe, Jackson counties, but we're also going to see that outside of those areas as well. Not everyone's going to see fog, but if you're traveling 10, 15 miles for a morning commute, at some point there's a pretty good chance you're going to run into it. So freezing fog, essentially you have the moisture rising. Water turns into water vapor, freezes on contact with any surface below freezing. And here this morning we have temperatures in the 20s, so as that fog kind of just settles, it can form this ice layer on trees, and we call that rime ice. It makes for very interesting formations, and it's really quite pleasant to look at, but it can cause issues out there on the roadways. And this was from a viewer in Bradley County, just so you can get a visual of what I'm talking about. You can see it almost looks like a very thick frost. This is in Bradley County, the northern part, just north of Cleveland, sent in by Angie Stinnett Paris. Very neat little formation here. Also a very heavy frost this morning, aside from the potential for the rime ice here on the tree. So it looks neat. If you get any photos of that, send it in, csmith@local3news.com. But hopefully, there's no major accidents and people are being careful out there on the roads, especially those elevated driving surfaces. Now, as for your temperatures, they drop very quickly overnight. We had clear skies, calm winds. That is the perfect recipe for temperatures dropping very quickly. Starting the day at 19 in Cleveland, 22 in Lafayette, 25 in Chattanooga, 27 from Blue Ridge to Murphy. So it is a cold start, yes, but by this afternoon it will start to warm up. And as we take a broad look at things, remember New Orleans, parts of the Florida Panhandle picked up heavy snow this time last week, big time southern winter storm. Now it's 50 degrees, so that snow is long gone. Really no very cold air across the country. The Rockies probably the coldest spot where you have temperatures in the single digits and teens, but that's elevation. The rest of the country actually relatively mild. In fact, we're colder than Bismarck, North Dakota this morning, and Billings, Montana. So no super cold air here in the lower 48, and you can see the temperatures really starting to warm across portions of Texas. With that being said, we're cold this morning, so do what you can to stay warm, but by this afternoon we'll have the sunshine. So this freezing fog, the cold, will all be a distant memory as we'll climb up into the mid to upper 50s, maybe even 60 degrees. And that's kind of what we're looking at for now. We don't have any active weather. Rain is looking stay away for the next couple of days. This is the broad look. We got some snow across portions of New York and moving into the upper peninsula of Michigan, maybe a little bit of snow going on in the Utah and Arizona mountains, but here across the southeast and the Tennessee Valley, things are looking all good, and will look that way through Thursday. So the next couple of days looking nice, but then we're going to track out our next weather maker. So we'll talk more about this throughout the week. But right now, there's going to be, at least looking at things, there's going to be a cold front that's going to be sweeping across the southeast. Now, Thursday, you'll notice the cloud cover increasing, not expecting any rain. But then overnight, Thursday and early Friday morning, this will be knocking on our doorstep. Now, the latest timing brings us in just in time for that morning commute on Friday. So rain likely starting from west to east sometime between 5 and 6 o'clock Eastern time, and then sweeping across much of our viewing area, North Georgia, Northeast Alabama, eventually into western North Carolina throughout the morning. Could be heavy at times, and just kind of analyzing the upper atmosphere here, there's going to be a lot of strong winds above us, so a lot of wind shear. I'm not seeing a whole lot of rotation, or at least indications that there may be rotation here. So I'm not expecting a tornado threat. Could be some strong winds, maybe even a severe storm or two with damaging wind gusts early on Friday. Not going to be anything widespread, but it's something worth noting for now, just with the amount of wind shear. And then by Friday afternoon, this quickly moves out, so we're likely only get a couple hours of some heavier rain, and then it's done, and then maybe some lingering showers through the evening. And then the rain will move out Friday night for good, and Saturday and Sunday are looking good. So next round of rain Friday, that's really going to be our only chance of rain over the next 7 days, but it does look like we are going to enter more of an active pattern next week, so we'll likely have more rain chances coming down the pipe. But at least, you know, for the next 7 days, that's really our only significant chance. We could pick up a solid inch or so of rain, which of course we need. We've been dealing with this drought for quite some time. Let me see if I can find my drought monitor graphic. I know it's in here somewhere. Ignore that. So drought monitor, this is the latest. Moderate drought for Chattanooga, Scottsboro, severe drought in the Orange, Cleveland, Athens, Sequatchie County, Grundy, much of the plateau, and an extreme drought for portions of Ray, Meigs, northern Hamilton, Bledsoe counties, and up towards the I-40 corridor. So we need the rain. It's been very dry. Again, if anything, major changes, I'll let you know, but we are still in a drought for just about everyone except parts of North Georgia and upstate South Carolina. But moving into, you know, Thursday, this graphic in particular only goes out 3 days. So Thursday, severe weather going to be possible in the same areas that picked up heavy snow just a week ago. Louisiana, Texas, not a high risk right now, but, you know, level 2 out of 5. And then as this moves in our direction early Friday, that's when we could have, you know, some stronger winds. So I'll keep an eye on that, and I'll let you know exactly what we're looking at, but I would just keep an eye out for Friday. It's going to impact our morning commute nonetheless, so continue to check back, like I said, because I'm going to kind of do a deeper analysis on this coming up shortly. But of course, the next big thing is going to be the 60s returning. You know, after the rain Friday, and even before the rain, it's going to be nice and mild. 63 tomorrow, 68 Thursday, and this is for one point. When that point is Chattanooga, so some of you could be a little bit cooler, some just a little bit warmer. But this gives us a good baseline of what temperatures will be like here in the Tennessee Valley. 60 on Thursday, but look at next Monday. 70 degrees is going to be on the table. It is going to be very mild. So after a cold January, well, at least most of January was cold. Looks like the last couple of days can be relatively mild. Get used to it for the next week, week and a half. Winter is certainly going to be on pause. Not saying that we're done. We're not done. At some point, it's going to get cold again. I mean, we still have most of February and a lot of March to still get cold snaps. But as we look at your temperature trend over the next 6 to 10 days, which takes us right into the first week of February, above normal temperatures looking likely for the southern tier of the U.S., colder temperatures for the Pacific Northwest and parts of the northern Rockies and northern plains. So that's where the cold air is going to be locked in. And we're going to have this ridge building across the southeast, pretty much going to prevent any cold air from dropping to the south. Plus, we're going to get this mild flow coming out of the Pacific Ocean. We call this zonal flow, in which that flow comes in from the mild waters of the Pacific and just kind of flows across the lower 48. So essentially, we're not going to see the jet stream dipping down, bringing in those Arctic intrusions from Canada and parts of Alaska. That coldest air in the blue, you see those anomalies. That's where it's going to be a little bit colder, and the pattern's still going to be relatively active. So any snow events are probably going to be closer to the Canadian border and the plain states, while it's going to be very mild across much of the southern and central U.S., moving at least through the first week or so of February. And as we look at the probability of 1 inch of snowfall or more through February 12th, which is about 2 weeks in the future, pretty much no chance for the southeast, at least right now. This could change, but it's looking pretty bleak through the first half of the month. So if you want more snow, and I'm a snow fan myself, but you know, I got a good feel of it January 10th. If we're going to get more, it's going to be towards the end of February or sometime in March, because the first 2 weeks of February are looking to be pretty much a wash. It's going to be nice and mild. It does look like it's going to get more active, which means, you know, there could be some severe threats on the table. That's not uncommon in February, especially when we get these warm and cold air masses colliding. So that's something I'll watch pretty closely. I think we'll have some heavier rain potential next week, but no winter weather, at least in the short term. Again, we're pressing pause on winter for now, but that's not to say it won't be back, because we're still going to have a few more cold snaps. It's never over that easily. But we are getting somewhat closer to spring. And temperatures at the beginning of February, the average high in Chattanooga is 53. By the end of the month, it's nearly 60. And those numbers continue to go up, obviously, through March, April, until we get to the summer months. So the coldest part of winter, we're pretty much coming out of that, at least climatologically speaking. And then we start to get, you know, warmer, of course, during the spring, which is common sense. Just rambling at this point. But here's your 7-day forecast. Nice weather. Of course, we have the freezing fog for the next hour or so. We have to deal with those slick spots. But the rest of the week going to be nice until Friday. Then we have the rain during the morning and early afternoon. This weekend looking good. If you got any outdoor plans, pickleball, golf, hiking, hanging out with the kids outside, going to the park, all of that looks to be just a good plan, because we're going to have some nice weather. And then by Monday, it's going to be 68. Pushing 70 degrees. That is a deep dive of your forecast on this Tuesday. Hope you enjoyed it. Come back with another video tomorrow. Enjoy your day.